The guests rose to their feet as the music swelled, the moment every bride dreams of. Emma Carter, radiant in white, took her first steps down the aisle, her heart pounding with joy. But before she could reach the altar, a sharp bark split the air. Her German shepherd, Max, charged forward, growling, blocking her path. Laughter turned to gasps. "What's he doing?" someone whispered. Emma's smile faded as Max refused to move, his eyes locked on the groom like a warning. "Max, stop," she cried, but he only barked louder, desperate, protective, unyielding. In that instant, the fairy tale shattered. Because what happened next would reveal that Max wasn't trying to stop her wedding. He was trying to save her life. The morning sun bathed the small countryside church in golden light. White roses lined the pews, and soft piano music drifted through the air. It was the day Emma Carter had dreamed of since she was a little girl, her wedding day. Guests smiled, cameras flashed, and laughter echoed through the courtyard. Everything was perfect. Standing in her bridal suite, Emma looked at her reflection, nervous but radiant. Her heart raced with excitement as her loyal German shepherd, Max, sat beside her in a little bow tie, tail gently wagging. He had been with her through everything: heartbreaks, long nights, and the painful years after her father's death. To her, Max wasn't just a pet. He was family. When her fiancé Ryan entered the room to greet her, Max's tail stopped. His ears twitched. A low growl rumbled in his chest. "Hey, easy," Emma whispered, petting him. "He's just nervous." Ryan forced a smile, adjusting his cufflinks. "It's fine," he muttered, stepping back, but Max didn't take his eyes off him. His instincts, the same ones that had saved Emma once before, were stirring again, and though no one realized it yet, that unease was the first warning of a truth waiting to explode. The church bells rang, their sound echoing across the courtyard as guests rose to their feet. Emma's heart pounded beneath her white gown. This was it, the moment she had waited for. The organ began to play softly, and she took her father's old dog tag from her bouquet, whispering, "I wish you were here, Dad." Beside the front pew, Max sat with the maid of honor, tail flicking restlessly, his amber eyes never leaving her as Emma stepped into the aisle. Every gaze turned to her. Ryan stood at the altar, smiling, but to Max, that smile wasn't right. His breathing quickened, his ears pinned back. Then, suddenly, Max jerked free from the leash. Gasps filled the church. The sound of his paws striking the marble floor echoed like thunder. He sprinted down the aisle and stopped right in front of Emma, growling low, blocking her path. "Max," she cried, clutching her bouquet. "What's gotten into you?" Ryan's face twisted with embarrassment and anger. "Get that dog out of here," he snapped, but Max refused to move. His stance was firm, his growl steady, not out of aggression, but warning. Emma froze, torn between love and confusion. She knelt, whispering, "Max, talk to me, boy. What are you trying to tell me?" He barked once, sharp and deliberate, then turned his gaze toward Ryan. In that instant, the joy in the room shifted to dread. Something wasn't right, and Max knew it. The church had fallen silent, every breath heavy with confusion. Guests exchanged uneasy glances as Emma stood frozen at the aisle, her loyal dog still blocking her path. Max's growl was steady, his body tense, every muscle on alert. Ryan tried to laugh it off, his voice shaking. "He's just jealous, that's all. Get him out before he ruins the ceremony." But even as he spoke, his smile faltered. Sweat glistened on his forehead. He took a small step back, and Max mirrored it instantly, moving with precision. Like a soldier anticipating danger, Emma's heart raced. She had seen Max like this only once before, the night a stranger tried to break into her apartment. That same instinct, that same look. Something deep inside told her to listen. "Ryan," she said softly, "why is he reacting this way?" Ryan's jaw tightened. "Because he's a stupid animal," he snapped. Gasps rippled through the room. Emma blinked, stunned by his tone. Then, as her eyes drifted downward, she noticed something. A faint metallic glint near Ryan's ankle, barely visible beneath his pant leg. "What's that?" she asked, her voice trembling. Ryan froze. "Nothing." But Max barked sharply, stepping forward, his eyes locked on the hidden object. Emma's chest tightened. The priest lowered his Bible. Guests whispered in panic, and in that moment, under the watchful gaze of her dog, Emma realized her perfect day might be built on a terrible lie. The silence in the church was deafening. Emma's bouquet slipped from her trembling hands, petals scattering across the floor. "Ryan," she whispered, her voice breaking. "What's under your pant leg?" Ryan's eyes darted toward the exit. "Emma, it's nothing," he said quickly, forcing a shaky smile. "Can we just finish the ceremony?" But Max barked again, louder, sharper, startling the guests. His growl echoed through the pews like thunder. Emma's instincts screamed at her to step back. And the moment she did, the heavy wooden doors behind them burst open. Two uniformed police officers stormed inside. "Ryan Thompson," one shouted, "you're under arrest." Gasps filled the church. The groom's face went pale. "This is a mistake," he shouted, backing away. But as he moved, the metallic device at his ankle became visible. A black tracking monitored. Emma's knees weakened. "You're on parole?" she whispered. One officer nodded grimly. "He violated it this morning. We've been tracking him here." Ryan's voice cracked. "Emma, please, I can explain." But she didn't move. Her world spun as truth collided with betrayal. The man she was about to marry had lied about everything. His past, his job, even his name. Max stood firm between them, tail stiff, teeth bared. The silent guardian who had seen through every lie. The officers cuffed Ryan and let him out. Emma collapsed to her knees beside Max, whispering through tears, "You saved me again, didn't you, boy?" The church that had once echoed with wedding music now sat in stunned silence. Guests murmured softly as they filtered out, unsure what to say or how to comfort her. Emma sat at the front pew, still in her wedding dress, her veil slightly torn, staring at the floor. The ring she had been so eager to wear now lay cold in her palm. Beside her, Max rested his head on her lap, his eyes soft and steady, as if reminding her she wasn't alone. She stroked his fur with trembling fingers. "You knew, didn't you?" she whispered. "You always know." Her maid of honor, Laura, knelt beside her. "Emma, I'm so sorry." Emma managed a faint smile. "Don't be. He saved me again." She looked down at Max, tears glistening. "He didn't ruin my wedding. He rescued me from one." Outside, reporters had already gathered. The story was spreading fast. Bride's dog stops wedding. Exposes wanted criminal groom. But Emma didn't care about headlines or whispers. All that mattered was the truth and the loyal heart that had protected her from a lifetime of pain. Max thumped his tail gently, as if to say, "Mission accomplished." A soft wind rustled through the cemetery as Emma walked between rows of gravestones. Her white gown replaced by a simple blue dress. Beside her trotted Max, calm and content, the morning sun glinting off his fur. She stopped at her father's grave, kneeling to place her faded bridal bouquet there. "I guess you were watching over me that day," she whispered. Through him, Max sat beside her, tail brushing against her leg, his steady eyes meeting hers. She smiled faintly. "You've always been my protector, haven't you? My guardian angel." With pause, a tear slipped down her cheek, but it wasn't from sadness. It was relief. The storm was over. She had lost a fiancé, but found something far more powerful: truth, peace, and unbreakable loyalty. That night, Emma posted a photo of Max sitting proudly with the caption, "He didn't ruin my wedding. He saved my life." The post went viral, touching millions. But for Emma, it wasn't about fame. It was about faith, in love, in instincts, and in a dog who saw the truth before anyone else did.